Hello everybody, I'm Nicole from the Haliburton County Public Library, and today we're going to be doing Harry Potter painted stones and wands. So here's my examples. And here's what you're going to need for them. Okay, so for the painted stones and the wands, you'll need some paint, paintbrushes, and a paint tray. Make sure you have paper towel as well. So for the painted rock stones, you'll need some fair-sized ones. The ones I have are, like I said, fair-sized, nothing too big, nothing too small. And for the wands, you'll need chopsticks. So I have a little bag here. You can either use chopsticks, you can find old pencils you can use. You can even use the handle of a wooden spoon if you cut off the spoon end. You just need something with that shape. You'll also need hot glue and some creativity. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is the wand. So have an idea in your head of what you want your wand to look like. So the idea in your head. So I did one that resembled the Elder Wand and just one of my own creation. You can look up designs from the wands of Harry Potter movies or general ones like that. You'll need your hot glue gun and some hot glue sticks. Okay, so with the idea in your head, if you're doing a thick part, do it in layers. The bottom of the Elder Wand, which was the brown one, I had to do a couple different layers. The hot glue, hence it was hot, hence the name, was actually blobbing to one side as I was moving the wand around. So thin layers is probably the best idea for it. And that's not the final shape I'll be doing for that. That's just the beginning. I'm going to add more and more. I just want that to cool down first. So I'm going to add my final layer of hot glue on the bottom here. Okay, so just let the hot glue cool completely and before you move on to the next step. But I'm going to do another example. Just, you don't have to have a lot of hot glue on there. You can do very simple details and that's it. So So depending on what color you want to paint the wands. So some are black, some are brown. You can actually, let's be honest, you can paint them purple if you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a color here to paint one. And just, you're probably gonna have to do 2 coats to get everything really well. Paint tends to go really thinly over top of the hot glue, so 2 coats tends to be best. Okay, I'm gonna let that one dry, and I'm going to do up the other one. Hang on. Okay, so I'm gonna let these dry and then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to show you kind of like a detailing effect on the wands. With the wands dry, I'm gonna take a little bit of gold and a little bit of silver. I'm gonna take a sponge brush and I'm just gonna put on the side of the brush a little bit. And then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna kind of dab along. And then for this one, I'm going to take silver. And same idea. So that's how I do that. So I'm gonna let those dry. Those are finished for me. I've seen ones where people have put beads or gems in the end of the wand. I don't have any that would look decent with it. I also just like the way these are, so I'm gonna leave them be and let them dry. So we're gonna move on to the stones. So you can just paint the stones with a brush. A couple of the ones I did, I actually kind of marbled the colors together. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So take 3 or more colors and you're going to add them into a container. So I'm just going to put them right here. Okay. And then take something relatively slim. I used a wooden skewer, and you're just gonna kind of marble it without mixing it, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that like that. So these stones are wiped down, there's no dirt or grime on them, and then I just put it in like so, and then pull up. So I did drop that one so it doesn't look like a lot of the other ones I did. So I'm just going to try again. The great thing about this is if you mess up, you can just wash the paint off the stone. And if you want it to go a paint on the sides there, I suggest just taking a little bit out of the tray with the brush and just kind of blending in the sides a bit. And then I just kind of move along and add. So the only thing to note is that for the images on the rocks, I'm going to be using black, so I'm not going to use black in it. I learned that with my example. It didn't turn out too well. Okay, and I'm going to let those all dry. If you're doing this dipping technique, you're gonna have to wait for them to dry completely. Brushing actual paint on is a lot quicker. It dries a lot quicker, but this takes longer. So be aware of that. Okay, so with the rocks dry, I'm going to put the outline on. I have a couple of examples. I got these offline. I don't create credit for them. So these are some very simplified images that I can decide whether or not I want to put on. I have some more off to the side. So I'm just doing them straight black paint, putting them on. So I did a golden snitch on the example. So I'm going to take this rock here and And I'm going to put some black paint on the edge of this paintbrush here. And I'm going to dot it right in. I use the end of the brush because it's a lot easier for me. I have issues painting circles. And then I'm just going to put on okay, and just let it dry. You can also paint it later on so it looks a little bit more gold and snitchy. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to paint the Deathly Hallows, which is the triangle, circle, and line. Quarters, so. Okay, that is just a simplified Hogwarts crest. Okay, so that's supposed to be a picture of the Sorting Hat. Kind of got a little messed up. My bad. Okay, so that's basically what you do. You just paint whatever design from Harry Potter you want on there. I'm gonna leave this as is. Another step you could take is to actually get clear coat or Mod Podge and just seal it in. It'll also make it a little bit shinier and possibly more durable. Okay, so that's the video. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy it. Like always, you can do whatever colors you want, whatever designs you want. It's up to you. I will have another craft ready for you next week. Until